This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun. No.
Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Monday, everybody. Lindsey Granger in the house.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, is it ever going to get old?
Tori, what's going on?
If I get that reaction every time, this is never going to stop.
Yeah.
It's going to go on forever.
Enough is enough, okay? I hope that people know who I am at this point.
Enough.
I don't think so.
I need it in my life.
What do you want, a balloon, a medal? What do you want? Oh, wow, Tori. Dang, I thought we were friends. We are.
Doesn't sound like it. Things got weird. All right, let's get to it, guys. There were dueling award shows last night. First, Halle Berry gave a moving speech at the Critics' Choice Award. She picked up the See Her Award, honoring women in Hollywood. Let's watch.
Because we are confident and we are scared. We are vulnerable and we are strong. We are beautiful and we are abused. We are everything and all of that, and all at the same time.
You're forced to clap after that. The Power of the Dog was the big winner, picking up 4 awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for Jane Campion, who made a joke about being in a male-dominated field. Hilarious.
I'd also just like to give my love out to my fellow, the guys. The nominees, and you know, Serena and Venus, you are such marvels. However, you do not play against the guys. Like I have to.
Zing. And across the pond, the BAFTAs were held in England. Host Rebel Wilson poked fun at her recent weight loss. Let's take a look.
Everybody's asking me, like, why did you lose weight? Well, clearly it was to get the attention of Robert Pattinson. Because you know what they say, once you go bat, you don't go back. Just joking. Guys, seriously, I did not lose weight just for a guy, as if I did it to get more acting roles. And boy, I am now so excited I can play the non-funny love interest in an Adam Sandler movie.
That last joke was pretty good.
That was really good.
But got a little cringy there in the middle towards the end, right?
Yeah.
Was that just me, or?
Really, and Venus were not really having that. I don't think that was weird.
Yeah, she kept making this, is there more to what you're going to say, or are you done talking kind of face. It was very weird, but at the same time, I'm okay with that. Why can't stuff be a little weird? And when you're making jokes, they're kind of on the line, and everybody, I feel it when I'm on stage. I feel it when I watch these things. Everybody is like, hey, don't say anything. I don't want to see my friend get canceled. I don't want to see my... And it's like, this is what happens when we just let... certain things run wild, and now everybody's scared to make a joke, even if it's coming from a good place, Lindsay.
But it's not canceled. It's like not funny. You know, some things that canceled are like, okay, well, that was a little racist. You get canceled. Like, this wasn't funny. It was awkward. I mean, you're the comedian, so you're the expert in this, you know, space. But I was just like, what's funny about the joke?
Well, she's also been put down, Jane Campion, from other Americans that played in cowboy westerns, and they're like, I can't believe a woman made this film. I can't believe they put a British person in this film. It's a cowboy film. So she's kind of gotten some darts thrown at her, and I think this was her dart back. It just was not a good dart, to be honest.
And when we talked about with last week, we talked about how people make it to the top and then try to get, and they are skinny and they want to slim out for different roles. So it's like not really a joke for Rebel Wilson, because a lot of people feel like you can't make it as a bigger person with all the recent celebrities that have lost a ton of weight just to be at the top. In our eyes, is what it looks like. So it's like,
it was
is
like
it a
on the
joke,
nose
or
a little,
is it a joke, or are you just poking fun at yourself?
How about Halle Berry's speech when she got like more like loud at the end? So when she's done, you have to clap, right? You have to clap.
It was like a script you had to do.
Yeah, Did you think that was a good moving speech?
Well, I thought Halle Berry is so beautiful that I would just clap in general if I mean, she was just standing there. I'm like, wow, this is 20 years later, you're still in the same space and looking the same exact way.
I was going to say the same thing, but it would have sounded different.
Okay, well, I want to say it for everybody.
There you go. I appreciate that. All right, so we can't mention the awards without talking about the fashion. Guess who's back? Stephanie Jones is back to break down some of the best and worst looks from both shows. Hi, Steph. First of all, welcome back. And what were some of your favorites?
Well, Jeff, thank you so much. I've got to give props though. Let's forget about me being back in the studio. It's all about Lady Gaga, because she walked not 1, but 2 red carpets last night. So, first of all, she wore this stunning emerald green Ralph Lauren gown at the BAFTAs in London. The flowing velvet and the silk taffeta dress took over 150 hours to make by hand. Can you imagine? And then she changed into this custom yellow and black Gucci gown for the Critics' Choice Awards, which was also in London. Now, the Best Actor winner, Will Smith, and his wife Jada brought their A game with this matching gold ensemble. And then Serena and Venus Williams stunned in silver with their gowns. I'm a big fan of this one. And then there was Selena Gomez. She was a lady in red in this Louis Vuitton halter dress. And at the BAFTAs, Daniel Kaluuya wore a long black jacket with some blue fuzzy cuff details.
Yes.
Awesome.
No.
I love it.
We'll get to it.
Okay, and some called Kirsten Dunst's frock a bit frumpy.
Yeah.
And Kirsten's wig left nothing to the imagination with her see-through lace sheer dress. I mean, look at that. What do you guys think? I think she looks stunning.
Let's go back to Daniel Kaluuya real quick. Like, what?
Go on.
Do you really like that outfit?
I
Steph?
love
Come
it,
on.
Steph.
Bring it up. Let's bring it up.
There's no way that you like that. If your man was walking around in that, you would be like, head out.
I think it's a look. You know what? He's making a fashion statement.
Yeah.
He's pushing the boundaries. I get bored of these award shows, seeing everyone wearing the same black tuxedos.
She's right.
It's out there, but it's not too much.
You have to look like you're seal hunting?
No,
I like it. It looks like
You would wear that.
Yeah, I would. Well, I would try to wear that. It wouldn't look as good as he does. But like, you kind of look like a stocking on the mantle for Christmas time. Like, I kind of like that look. It makes me feel happy. There's a little puff there. I'm here for it.
All right,
really cute. It's like a fashionable cookie monster cake.
All right, we're splitting half on that one. Let's go back to Kristen Wiig. What do you guys think about that one?
I think she always
full of
pushed
him.
Really?
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig?
Yeah.
She always pushes the envelope. I like her stylist. I like it.
You know what's weird? I don't.
Yeah.
Does she push the envelope stuff? I don't remember Kristen Wiig doing things like this. Does she do that?
I think the last few years she's been stepping up her red carpet game and she's been really wowing us. And she looks incredible. I mean, she literally looks like, we've seen Rihanna wearing some awesome maternity wear recently that's like sheer and lace and flowy. And I think she's brought that to the red carpet herself. I love it.
I feel like we just get closer and closer to just wearing drawers and a bra. I'm confused.
But I'm down with the classics. Lady Gaga in that first one looks fantastic.
I mean,
looks fantastic.
Breathtaking. That's breathtaking. Lady Gaga knows how to put on a real show, doesn't she?
Look at that. The way she holds a purse.
She does not disappoint. It's like the whole thing. It's like, it's her energy, it's her power, it's her presence, that waist. Oh my gosh.
And then she changed into like Tori's outfit for the second one. What was that?
I didn't love the second one. I didn't love the second one.
pasties. Can I just be honest, Steph?
Yes.
Kristen Dunst.
What about her?
Get a different stylist. Why are we always wearing the sack? Sorry, that's how I feel.
I mean, if that's how, I definitely.
Wait, where is this sack?
You know the Kristen Dunst that.
Like just bigger, like loose fit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best.
What about women supporting women, Tori, in Hollywood?
I secretly just like love that look because it is so anti like everything else that we've seen on the red carpet. It just looks like somebody's
She looks like she was on Little
favorite
House in the
aunt that came to the door.
She's gonna have the most fun at the event because she can actually breathe, unlike everybody else who's like waist trained in and everything. She can actually. I would love to wear that to an award show. That's like.
Lindsay, we know you would. That's a Lindsay right after a nap.
That's a grandma special right there.
Well, Steph, it was great to have you back in studio. You got to come back. It's award season, so I'm sure we'll see you soon. Coming up on DBL, Tom Brady is out of retirement like Steph. Why he is heading back to the Buccaneers after 40 days off the field. Plus, more drama between Kanye and Pete. We're talking about the alleged text messages that were leaked.
Closed captioning provided by It's his phone.
No, Pete's friend didn't leak it.
No, it's blue. His texts are blue.
That's what I'm saying. So it's from Pete's phone, but Pete's friend leaked it. Cut it out.
You think Pete?
No, I think Pete.
I think Pete and Kim had a conversation like, let's take over the narrative for a second.
Maybe you're right.
So Kim has since responded. She said Kanye's post about the kids, please stop with this narrative, and you were just here this morning to pick up the kids.
Wow. Did he mention North's school? He mentioned the name of her school, which I found really dangerous.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
Yeah, Sierra Canyon or something?
Yeah, it's really.
That's where LeBron James' son goes.
Why are you telling us that when you're blaming
Andy
Kim
Wade's
for
son.
telling us too much information? I think that's really creepy.
Yeah, it's just, well, I mean, it's obviously we're going to talk about it, but I saw this coming.
Yeah, me too.
I just, this is just an ugly situation. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for the week where we're like, this is
Something
tamping
tragic
down.
happens.
They
Well,
sat
you
down.
save it for we're 5 seconds from now.
Yeah.
There's so much to discuss.
We want to hash
By the way,
it all out.
did anyone like Gaga's pasties? I thought it was interesting.
I didn't like the second
It
dress.
didn't
I liked-
flatter. It wasn't flattering.
The first one was so great.
Oh my God, it looked fabulous.
Yeah.
That first one with her little purse as an
Yeah.
accent to goo.
I like the way she's holding it.
Boop, just like that.
I thought it was real though.
Yeah. I liked the attempt.
With the second
The
one?
architectural, like Madonna-esque version of that.
But
Yeah.
when you like you knock it out of the park with
Yeah.
the first one, why would you like do that?
Yeah.
But she had
you
to
know,
change.
style
She's
is
not going to wear
pushing
the same
boundaries,
dress
yeah.
to both red carpets.
Well, that would be
just go to-
crazy.
It would. She would have never done that.
Especially since one took
Oh, that was two
150
different.
hours.
That was two different shows.
Yeah, and she went to 2 different shows on the same night.
I might have just gone to
If
one.
my dress took
and
I thought she
150 hours,
changed.
I might wear
to
it
be
to
honest,
two
No,
shows.
she went to-
I thought you just changed.
Wait, Tori
one
just
was
told
at
us
the
she
back,
would
this
just
one
go
was
to
at the
one red
Critics' Choice.
carpet if you were invited to 2. You liar.
No, I would go to all of them.
Yeah, she would.
My dream is
Absolutely.
red
Your heart's
carpet.
if you keep all these dresses, wouldn't you want to wear them again? I would like the green one. I want to wear it again.
It's not even on.
How long do you stay on the red
And
carpet?
not just
know,
the
but
one.
stepping
Like, what do
on
you do
pizza,
all
I
this
just
stuff?
No.
I
How
go
long
on
do you
for a
stay on the
long
red
time.
carpet?
No one's there.
Welcome back. It's a new week, so time for some more Kim and Kanye drama. That's right. Over the weekend, Kanye posted a video on Instagram calling out Kim for her parenting and relationship with Pete Davidson. Let's take a look.
I've been dragged and how she's not my wife. She don't have her last name. And now he texting me, talking and bragging about how he's in bed with my wife. And I'm like, well, who's watching my children if he's texting me bragging about being in bed with my wife?
So get this, Pete's friend posted a series of screenshots of an alleged text message exchange between Pete and Kanye. Pete allegedly asks Kanye to calm down and says Kim is a great mom. When Kanye asked where he is, Pete allegedly, can we just say allegedly at the top and be done with it?
Yeah.
Or I think we got it. Pete allegedly says, in bed with your wife. The posts also include a pic of Pete, who appears to be in bed, and fans also spotted that there appeared to be a tattoo on his chest with Kim's name on it, but none of this has been verified. It's alleged.
That's a zoom in.
It's alleged.
Yeah, that's a zoom.
Yeah,
in.
that's
I didn't
some I
catch
Spy.
that. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, Pete put the text messages out allegedly. I don't think his friend sent the messages. Like, I think Kim understands how to work with media and tell them what you want them to know and what you don't want them to know. So I think a conversation was had, like, let's change the narrative a little bit and make Pete feel like he has some backbone against Kanye, and they decided together we're going to put these out. That's my opinion. And so now everybody sees that Pete is not such a punk as we thought he was. But also everybody's saying like that divorces don't get this sloppy and like Kanye is so crazy and all. And mind you, yes, he's being ridiculous, but don't you think, I mean, you could tell me, don't you think divorces can get this bad? Only the difference is that Kanye is a public figure, Kim is a public figure. Like, people get this sloppy in divorce.
Do they get death threat sloppy?
Yeah,
People
I think so,
come on, people
probably.
get, and I'm not talking about like kniving hand at someone's house. We're talking about somebody saying, oh, I want to hurt your new, who's watching my kids. Like, you're telling me that they don't get, like, we're acting so appalled. Like, people get divorced every day.
But he has, you have to agree, he has a megaphone. He has an amplifier. Like, what he's doing isn't just a normal divorce for the relatable everyday people. He has an army of people that could go after Pete. He has a huge following, and that in itself is more dangerous than a Joe Schmo.
You don't think that this divorce resonates with people? I think this is how most of them go. Because I don't think most divorces are, you know what, this isn't working. You know what, Lindsay, it's not. Shake hands, good luck with Colin, let me know that works.
Right,
I think most people are like, sometimes caught off guard. They just walk in the living room and it's over. And now all of a sudden somebody has a new boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And that's a problem. They're texting this person like, who's this man or woman with my children, our children? It causes issues. And I think that's why this is resonating so much with people.
Disagree.
Because it's so contentious to unwind your life together when you have 4 children.
I agree. I completely agree.
It's so personal.
But the abnormality of this being in the media, like, we're all in this text conversation. That's really weird.
But in real real life, your friends and your family are in the text conversation unnecessarily, right? So then your whole family starts hating your ex-spouse, and it becomes this drama. Like, this actually really happens all the time.
Right, but they all know that person. We don't know Kim and Kanye, and yet we're all part of it. It's a very strange thing playing out, and I think it's going to end in a really tragic way. Also, Kanye mentions North, his daughter's school, in that video, which I think is dangerous. And if you read the rest of the text messages, Pete also says, I've had mental health issues. I want to get you help. You can do this. I got you. So Pete really tried. I just think this is more and more death threats to me, more and more threatening. I really think Kanye is going off the deep end.
I would have liked Pete to get his thoughts together before he sent that, because he sent like 30 different texts. Like,
it was a
lot of blue in a row.
I don't like when people say, just get your thoughts together, send me 1 or 2. They could be long, but I don't like 100. I'm making a joke.
Also the
obviously.
fake, like, I want to help you, I can get you mental health. Like, shut up.
Well, they both have had
No,
mental
please,
health
Pete, you
issues.
don't want to help Kanye.
But I think the bigger lesson, I think we have not talked about this to our audience, and what we can all learn from Pete is no one reads a text message that takes up the whole screen.
Right.
That's the rule.
Right.
If I see a big chunk of text,
You're not going to read it.
Not reading it.
Just call me.
Even you got to break it up into 2. I need to see some white there, because if I see a big blue chunk, not reading it.
I got to tell you, if you are into Kanye and you want to like dig deeper into this, watch his documentary, because you kind of see him unravel. His best friend of 25, 30 years goes, I know Kanye, but I'm scared because I've never met Yeezy yet.
Yeah.
And he said that after 25 years of knowing Kanye, and you kind of see him unravel a little bit. And his friend even puts the camera down at times because Kanye's going off. So he's definitely going through something there. And I think, like you said, the megaphone, it exacerbates all of it, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, guys, coming up on DBL, Tom Brady is heading back to the field.
Woohoo!
Why was his retirement so short? We're going to talk about it.
I feel. Recently, the United Nations has been accused of censoring its employees from saying certain things about the war in Ukraine. Viral posts on social media claim the UN in fact banned its staffers from saying the word war or even invasion. So, is that true? Are United Nations employees currently banned from publicly calling the war in Ukraine a war? Our sources: internal UN emails obtained by a reporter for the Irish Times and provided to verify, statements from a spokesperson for the UN, and tweets from the Secretary General and the Undersecretary for Political and Peacebuilding Affairs. The claims began appearing after Irish Times reporter Naomi O'Leary published a story about internal UN communications. One email sent by a regional office included guidance on language to use when speaking publicly. The email said to use, quote, conflict or military offensive and not war or invasion when referring to the situation in Ukraine. And a UN spokesperson did not deny that the emails O'Leary obtained were genuine. But he said that prohibiting the words was never official UN policy. He also pointed to a tweet posted by a UN undersecretary before O'Leary's article was published that used both the words war and invasion. The day after the article was published, a new email was sent to UN staff. This email read in part, quote, today's approved key messages now refer to war and/or invasion. That same day, the Secretary General himself posted a tweet that referred to, quote, the war in Ukraine. So, even though some staffers were previously told not to use certain words when describing Ukraine, we can verify, no, United Nations employees are not currently banned from publicly calling the war in Ukraine a war. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
Welcome back. Many of you may have heard after 40 days in retirement, Tom Brady is back.
Boo.
He announced it. Wow, save it. He made the announcement yesterday, tweeting, quote, the past 2 months I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands. That time will come, but it's not now, Lindsay. He put Lindsay in there. He finished the tweet saying, unfinished business. You booed, Linz. Why?
Okay,
Why are you a hater?
One thought, he's in line with the greats. You know, people like Jay-Z have done this when he retired after the Black Album. Michael Jordan did this, so we get it. But also, cheaters should end their career now, okay? He cheated, he deflated balls, he set off alleged fire alarms, his coach stole all the playbook for other teams. I mean, this is a classic cheater, and I don't know if you support that or not.
He's a winner. He's a winner, and he finds ways to
and
win.
as a dad, are you going to tell your kids to cheat a little bit if you win? You know,
Rubbin's racing. You know what I mean? You got to get away with some things to win that race. Listen, Tom Brady's one of the greatest of all time. You can't deny that.
I think he's
and people who don't respect that and just call him a hater because he's married to a supermodel, he He has great bone structure. He's 6'5".
You think that's why I'm hating?
Maybe a little crush. Maybe a little crush.
Well, let me ask you guys this. This is
perfect bone structure.
I know you don't like sports, but like
I like sports and matches.
Okay.
What?
Do you guys think this is a little? How would you feel if you were his family?
So that's what I wanted to get to.
His family gave him the blessing.
Yeah.
Because he
allegedly.
was like, he's probably bumming around the house like a sad dad. They were like, just go. He's probably making it impossible to live, you know.
Yeah, Giselle, I remember being very clear, like, this is it. I want him home, I want him home, I want him home, and all of a sudden it's, get him out of the house, get him out of the house, get him out of the house. So either there was a big shift, or he is someone who's like Tiger Woods. You can't not keep competing. You have to.
But what does that mean in another year when he literally cannot?
I don't know. It feels like, they keep coming back.
But he's at the top of his game, Al. You know that. Yeah, he's not declining.
Age. Like, he's going to have a young dude tackling him next year. Eventually, just the laws of physics just say that cannot continue. And I just wonder, like, what his post-playing life will be like. I mean, he has everything. If he wins another championship, great, but no, I still think he's the best. Lindsay doesn't. But, it's like that argument is kind of already settled. You can argue he's the only person that's really settled the greatest of all time argument. So then the bigger question is, what does it take for a human being to kind of reinvent themselves for their second act? And we've seen some people like Shaq do that post-career and almost become Kobe was doing that. I wonder what Tom's going to do.
I just wanted him to like bow out gracefully. He won the Super Bowl recently. Just stop there. Don't go back. And because if he starts going downhill, that's part of his legacy that we're going to remember. But it's like he ended on a losing team.
When do you say quit?
Yeah.
When do you say quit? Al, I don't know if you know this, but there was an auction on Saturday. So he announced this yesterday on Sunday. So on Saturday, they sold his last ball that he threw a touchdown with for over $500,000 or $518,000. Last ball. Now he's playing again. What would you do if you bought that ball?
You gotta have like a 24-hour cancellation like Amazon, right?
Exactly. Send it back.
I don't know, because now it's just a football that you own, a very expensive football.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about it. So I do wonder, and it is interesting, like when you watch everything this season, like I saw it last season, players in real time, like when they catch a touchdown, instead of throwing it in the stands, they realize this ball might be worth money and they take it with them. It's so interesting to see that while they're playing football, they're still thinking that can
Mike Williams gave one of Tom Brady's balls away.
And got it back.
And when he got it back, yeah. Speaking of Tom Brady, it turns out he and Jane Fonda appear to be friends. The two are working on a new movie together about a group of female Patriot fans who go to see Tom play in the Super Bowl. And Jane says Tom sent her a huge bouquet of orchids after she got shoulder surgery replacement recently.
I hope that they include cheating in the movie and make it a full spectrum movie.
Why are you such a hater?
I'm not.
Do you have a crush on him? Do you love Tom Brady?
Yeah, that's it. Colin, I gotta let you know something.
You know what I thought, though, that this was to be his second act. I thought he'd go kind of LeBron and go into acting, because he is have great bone structure. Go Blue. He went to Michigan, and I thought he'd 100% do acting.
It doesn't seem like he's interested. I mean, all the things you named. I'm sure other production companies have noticed this. He doesn't seem to want to do anything but play football. And that's why I'm really curious, because I think there's a lot of people that are like this. All they want to do is their profession, and then what does their post-life look like? And I still don't feel like he knows. That's why he's going back on the field.
And on the screen.
There we go. All right.
All right. We'll be back.
I love Tony.
I don't know.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Leaders from around the world condemned Russia's invasion of Ukraine last month and accused Russia of violating international agreements. Several social media posts specifically point to the Budapest Memorandum and called on the U.S. and U.K. to uphold their end of the deal. So, let's verify. Did Ukraine agree to give up its nuclear weapons in 1994 in exchange for safety from a U.S. or Russian invasion? Our sources are the text of the Budapest Memorandum, the Arms Control Association, the U.S. State Department, and the Wilson Center, a nonpartisan policy forum on global issues. When the Soviet Union collapsed, Ukraine inherited the third largest nuclear arsenal in the world, and the Arms Control Association says much of it ended up in Ukraine. According to the Wilson Center, the newly formed government used the stockpile as leverage to get security guarantees from Russia that it would not attack them in exchange for denuclearizing. The U.S. and U.K. gave assurances to Ukraine that they would provide aid if an attack ever happened, but it did not guarantee military support. And all four countries agreed to consult each other if the treaty's commitments ever came into question. So, it's true. Ukraine did agree to give up its nuclear weapons in 1994 in exchange for safety from a U.S. or Russian invasion. International leaders say Russia violated the agreement by invading Ukraine last month, and it wasn't the first time. In 2014, Russia sent its military into Crimea and annexed it. When the other 3 countries tried to get Russia to meet about what happened under the terms of the memo, Russia didn't show up. Russia's foreign ministry argued it had a right to disregard the agreement because Ukrainian citizens had recently overthrown their former authoritarian president. 2 years later, Russia falsely claimed the agreement only required them not to use nuclear weapons on Ukraine. Russia has not discussed the memo after its most recent invasion of Ukraine. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Since the very first COVID restrictions went into place 2 years ago, the traffic just hasn't been the same. And yet, we've seen a lot of claims like this, that pedestrian deaths are at a 30-year high. So let's verify, are pedestrian deaths the highest they've been in decades? We looked at the data tracked by the CDC and the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. The CDC looked at death records, while the NHTSA pulls from police crash reports, hospital medical reports, and other state records. Neither have released their 2021 data yet, so we're only able to report on 2020 pedestrian deaths in the years prior. So let's get to the numbers. Based on CDC data, there were 7,005 pedestrian deaths from a motor vehicle crash. That's the highest number they've recorded since 1988, when there were just over 7,200 pedestrian deaths. As for the NHTSA data, it says 2020 saw the highest number of pedestrian fatalities since 1989. By their count, 6,516, which made up 20% of all traffic fatalities. So even despite small differences in the official numbers, we can verify 2020 was the deadliest year for pedestrians in about 30 years nationally.
Welcome back. Before we go, some sad news. Actor William Hurt passed away at the age of 71. In his statement, his son said he died peacefully yesterday of natural causes. William had a string of popular movies in the 1980s, The Big Chill and Body Heat with Kathleen Turner. He also earned an Oscar nomination for his role in broadcast news. He scored another Oscar nod for playing Marlee Matlin's teacher and love interest in Children of a Lesser God. He took home an Oscar in 1985 for his controversial role as a gay man in prison in Brazil in Kiss of the Spider Woman. Recently, he became known to a whole new generation as General Ross in a string of Marvel movies. May he rest in peace. You know, I feel like I say the same thing all the time, but he's a guy, William, that you see in every movie throughout generations that spans decades, but you don't really know his name, right? And to me, that's the best career you could have.
Right, he just kept going, and he has all these accomplishments, and somebody that we're going to remember that has done so much in their field. And it's like, to be able to transform through generations is a big deal. A lot of people, we just talked about Tom Brady, you don't know what to do next.
Right.
And he kind of has been able to figure it out through several decades. So
gracefully.
Different variations on the same career.
I love that. All right, guys. Happy Monday. DBL is new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.